how did you get to imposter syndrome? Where did that even begin?
Um, Imposter syndrome has shown up for me rooted in questioning myself and not feeling good enough, which I believe all of our traumas start in childhood. That's where they're rooted. And so for me, it was abandonment through my father, questioning myself, saying, what did I do or what did I not do for our relationship not to grow in the way that I truly desired, started me on that road of, well, am I good enough at any like fork in the road? Which is interesting because during my teenage years, it subsided in a lot of ways. I felt like, well, not even felt like, I grew into myself where I had the confidence to do anything and everything. Really, really, really. And I dared someone to say that I couldn't. And I moved through life that way. And it was exhilarating. But where it started to show back up, honestly, is when I had my son. And so speaking about how amazing he is, and he is awesome. I love that little person, even though he's not little, he's 15.
Yeah, but he's going to be taller than you very soon.
Oh, yeah. He's already like looking a little down at me, trying to be a little funny, you know? And it's funny because everywhere I go, people are like, that's your son? How old? You have a son that old? So I mean, you know, thankful for all of that. But truly, when I became a mother, I started questioning because it was intertwined also with my mother wound. It's like, I don't know how to be a mom. My mom she gave me what she could, but it did not teach me a foundation of motherhood. And so I started questioning what I could do, if I was capable. My life also did not look how I envisioned it at that time. My son's father and I broke up right as I was having him. And then he was 2 pounds when he was born. He had a lot of medical needs. And so, can I handle this? Like, am I up for this? I showed up every day, but I still questioned if I was capable. So that's kind of where all the things kind of intersected: imposter syndrome and mother wound.
And so what did that look like day to day? So you have your son. Thankfully, he's healthy. He got through that.
He's amazing. He's amazing. He's honor society, a 2-time athlete, you know, respectful, caring, empathetic, generous, loving. Also super cool. He has so much aura.
You know? I mean, we know this.
You know, so he's an amazing, amazing, amazing individual. But that day to day, was not knowing, right? I mean, and who knows? Like, we're all moving through a path where there is uncertainty. But I felt like I didn't have a grasp on anything. I just knew that I needed to show up. I knew that that was never an option not to show up, but being critical of myself along the way. Am I doing everything okay? He had a plethora of doctors and appointments and physical therapy and medications and things. And almost to the point that I had to become a nurse for him. You know, speaking to the doctors, they're like, oh, are you in medical school? Are you like, no. But you say these terms and I need to understand them. So trust and believe I'm studying up and I'm learning what the ins and outs are and what the options are so that I can make the best decision. I'm his advocate, right? He's a little itty bitty baby, but he's a person and someone has to fight for him. And so that was my day to day, making sure that my baby was receiving the best care that I knew of, talking to all the doctors, and just loving on him because he was a chunky baby. And I love me a fat baby with the little rolls and everything, you know? And he was mine. He is mine. And so the love was and is enormous, right? Bigger than my body can contain. But there was some questioning also happening right alongside it.
I want to commend you for simply showing up when you knew nothing else to do. You said, I'm going to be here. Not a lot of people can do that, even in simple, life circumstances. So for you to do that for a whole human You know, even though he is yours and he always will be a little baby, showing up is just so big. And it makes me wonder, when you talk about your mom and your dad, did you learn that method of showing up from them? Because you said they gave you what you had, or more so, your mom gave you what she had. That showing up what you learned from her, or was that something you had to pull out of yourself?
So I'll touch on the relationship with my dad too, because of course both parents play significant roles. My dad is an interesting man. We are not super close, but I've always known who he is, who he was. That the questioning part, a lot of that came from him and our distance that was built in our relationship. For my mother, my mom was battling a lot of traumas. I was aware of these traumas since I was a little girl. They gripped her, you know, to the point where she was not available to me. I am now aware that in that action, she was still protecting me. In that action, there was still love. But in the moment, as a young girl desiring her parents, I didn't understand that, and it felt really lonely. My mother, she is deceased, rest in paradise. A brilliant woman who, at a young age, learned not to trust the world. And through that and her own coping mechanisms, she would withdraw as a way of protection. And so I grew up alone in a lot of ways. My mother, paid the bills, so I had a roof over my head. Even when that foundation was shaky, she made sure that I would still be okay. If we needed to move, we moved. And she always took care of me in that way. But beyond that, she didn't have much to give me. So I didn't have emotional support from her. I also didn't get to know her very well. And so that was the tough part, you know? It's like, okay, I have you in some regards, but in the ways that I deem very valuable as a child, because you need a place to stay, you need a home, but it's not as significant as emotional support. Just understanding who I am also, like in reflection of her. So that's kind of where that came from. So I did learn to show up in some ways because of my mom, to never give up. But it was also the feeling that I had I never wanted to repeat. It was like my child is going to know that I'm here. He's going to physically know. He's going to mentally know. He's going to emotionally know. Like, he's going to know that I'm here, because I never want him to feel disconnect, or that he may feel himself in the disconnect. And I'm like, no, adult stuff has to be adult stuff, because a child needs to know that they're loved.